All right, you are actually welcome to the very first day of the ethical and responsible sourcing training with me, Pekene. And then in this module, we're going to cover about 3 chapters and about 9 different sections. So at the end of the training, you should be able to have understanding of what it takes for you to ethically carry out your procurement and supply services when being contracted or as engaged in your job the way you are working where you are right now. Okay, so right now we're looking at chapter 1. We're going to talk about how we would be able to understand the options for sourcing requirement from the suppliers perspective. So we will look at it, and then various things we're going to see in in it. We will look at 4 different sections. We'll talk about how we would be able to identify the sourcing processes. We will talk about the difference between the approaches to sourcing or the requirement from the supplier perspective. We will define the selection criteria that can be commonly applied when sourcing requirements. When we have sourcing requirements, and we will look at the external perspective. We'll define the award criteria. That is the award criteria when you want to award the contract, and the award criteria that can be commonly applied when sourcing requirement from the external supplier. It's necessitated. So these are the 4 areas we would see in this chapter. And in the very first one, we would look at the definition of sourcing. We'll look at the definition of outsourcing. We'll understand the make or buy decision. We will look at the strategic and the tactical sourcing cost and the benefit of outsourcing. We also would talk about outsourcing the non-core and the core work or services. We will look at the 2. We'll talk about supplier pre-qualification and also the criteria for supplier appraiser. We'll look at vendor or the supplier performance management, and then we will talk about risk associated in the outsourcing process. Then the market development and the growth of outsourcing. We'll look at the various regulations affecting the employee terms of employment. So these are the areas that we're going to be looking at. So let's start now. I want us to have an understanding of what sourcing is all about. So what is sourcing as regards procurement? What is sourcing? It's actually a key element, you know, we have so much flogged on in procurement. So sourcing, as long as it's key to the procurement, it should be carried out with ethical conduct.
Sorry.
Hello?
Yes, excuse me, just one thing. Did you share your screen with me or not?
Oh, you want me to share my screen with you?
As you like, but or do you want me to open the book maybe, or what I have to do? Just
Okay.
because as you know, I mean,
All right, let me
you
share my screen with you. All right, let me see if I can get that achieved. Okay, just stay on the line. Let's work on that. We'll try our best to share the screen, which means I have to upload the material I'm using in here. Okay, rather, let me say share screen. Okay, right. Okay, are you good there? Can you see my screen?
Where to share? Yes.
I've shared the screen. Can you see it now? Okay, it's yes. Okay. I think it's loading. Can you see it now? It's clear, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's very clear now.
It's clear, beautiful, beautiful. So that is my screen now. So
Yes.
we would take it one step at a time, right? Okay, so we've done the introduction. Now we are in the chapter 1.
Yeah.
Let's move down. Okay, so like I said, sourcing is a key element, very key element. And that is why we have to carry sourcing ethically. We ensure that in the organization, we follow the procedures, the right procedures, not jeopardizing the processes in the procurement function. Okay, we are saying that is the part of the procurement strategy where a procurement professional aim to find a suitable organization to become the suppliers of the product and service. That is to say, now sourcing it is when we as a procurement organization or an engineering firm, whatever firm we could be, we set out to want to buy or acquire a product. Okay, but looking forward to want to engage the external supplier that would either supply the service or the product that we are looking for. What are we doing? We are carrying out sourcing. And here now we understand that sourcing can either be tactical or be operational, or tactical or strategical. Sourcing could either be in that level. Sourcing can be done at the low level and also at the senior management level. When sourcing is done at the low level of decision making, we say the sourcing is either tactical or it is operational. Yet, but it could be high profiting, but low risk. When what we want to acquire has a low risk, is a low risk item, maybe a short-term contract, something that is transactional related. What we want to just buy could be a one-off buy. We don't need so much plans to acquire it. Then we can carry it out at the tactical or the operational level, which means anybody in the organization can make procurement, can buy, because it's not something that is critical to the organization. It's not something that is expensive that would require the approval of senior management. But if what we want to acquire is strategic to our organization, then it becomes a strategic sourcing. So the decision making must come from the top. All right. When the organization set out to want to acquire good profits from what we want to buy, maybe want to save a high cost, the decision making comes from the strategic level. The strategic level is the senior management level. And there are certain items, it could be installation of gas plants. Installations could be that is capital intensive, could be a high risk project. So at that phase, we allow senior management make their decision. And most projects could be long-term. And for long-term projects, we always want to ensure that we have a collaborative relationship with the supplier. Collaborative relationship is something that we can share values together, where which we want the supplier also to be successful in dealing with us. So at the end of the day, there will be trade-offs. We can benefit from their knowledge level, and while they too benefit from maybe our financial assistance. Can you see that? So with strategic items, we treat strategic items as like code destiny, because they are critical to us. It's as if we want to go into marriage, where which we don't have anything hidden, and then we don't. So the purpose of sourcing is to achieve the best value for money. And for us to achieve the best value for money, there are certain things we must consider. What are we to consider? We have to look at the price. And then we go for the most economical and advantageous price. Most economical and advantageous price. When something is most economical, it may not be the least price. It may not be to the lowest bidder, but a fair price that will still give us certain advantage, will still keep us in business and help us to achieve more. So that's the first thing we look at. So when we achieve that, we may want to look at the delivery time. At when we need the product, can they deliver? Who can deliver it to us at that time? Knowing that our sourcing, the purpose of it going into sourcing is to achieve the best value for money. We may want to look at the potentials among the potential suppliers who can deliver the product at the required time. And also, we may want to look at the fitness for purpose, that is the quality of the product. Which among the suppliers can give us the best quality that can fit our purpose? And there are times that we would be required to ensure that we have the ethics of the supplying organization on our table first. Before we start looking at every other thing, we want to ensure that the way they do business, it's ethical rather. They treat their workers fairly. They pay at when due. They are not extorting or exploiting the people. In the process of them manufacturing the components, or installing the component for us in our property land, they're not going to be jeopardizing the human lives and maybe materials or properties within. So these are, as we are achieving this, we are achieving the best value for money. Also, we look at their sustainability. Are they promoting environmental sustainability? Or they would just be dumping the oil anyhow they feel like doing it within, or they will litter the place, or maybe cause carbons to go in the air. So we must be able to look at all these areas and feature the supplier that has this knowledge, this ability, the best among them all. And then availability. You know, when you want to buy something, maybe you want to acquire a car, most times people would advise you, they will encourage you to go for Toyota product because you can find the components everywhere around town. You don't want to engage a supplier that you would struggle with to have its component for replacement, where which each time you have a malfunctioning part, you would be required to replace the machine first before you can go back to work. You don't want that. You want to consider availability, which means you want to consider continuity. Okay. So these are things that you must consider as you are doing that. Is it clear?
Yes.
You get that right? Now you can understand tactical operational sourcing. You can understand the strategic sourcing. I said the strategic sourcing is when we have the top level decision making, and then we have the high profit and high risk items. If the item is, a high risk item, then we know that senior management would make the decision. Excuse me. If what we want to buy is a long-term project, we will consider collaborative relationships. So all these are at the strategic level. So that is that. So these are the aims of we trying to go into sourcing, ensuring that we want to achieve the best value for money. So now always remember that you have two types of sourcing, tactical/operational, and then strategic sourcing, right? Low-level decision-making and high-level decision-making. Is that clear?
It's very clear for me. Very clear.
Very clear. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that is how it is. So we would have to consider the sourcing processes. Sourcing on its own has several processes, which I want you to be conversant with. Now you're setting out to want to acquire a product from an external supplier. What should you do first? The first thing you should do, you have to look inward, look into your organization, look into your business, and identify the needs. What is it that I want? Do I really need it? Can't we do without it? That's the first question you should ask. Is it necessary for us to acquire it from an external supplier? Can't we repair and use? So this is the first thing you do there. Second, which is the second step, you go on by defining the requirements. The requirement is like what is required of it. Okay? What are the various components, the things that you are supposed to do to ensure that you have that need, met? You must ensure that you have that considered. And now that you have all the requirements, you now know you need this, you need that for this missing component or this dysfunctioning component to work appropriately for you. You now move on to the next level where you have to carry out the make or buy analysis, here where you do the make or buy decision. Now you want to see, can I use internal workforce? Can members of my organization replace this missing component? Is there anything we can do inside without considering someone outside? Can I use my knowledge or the materials we have inside to make it? If yes, why consulting an external organization? If no, which means you're going to buy it, you have to consult the external organization. So this is all about the make or buy decision making. You want to consider also in the make or buy decision making, is it most economical for me to make it inside the organization, or most economical for me to buy it outside my organization? You put the two together. Maybe looking at the risk. If your workforce, the people that are working with you in your organization, would be very busy with other core functions that will profit your organization more, what would you do? You allow them to continue while you still contract the external organization. So these are the areas you are expected to be conversant with, to come up with, either to buy it outside. Then number 4 is for you to identify the purchase type. In purchase type, we have what is called the new buy. We have what is called the modified rebuy, and we have what is called the straight rebuy. I know you are conversant with all these terms, but now let's take a look at them also. A new buy, which means that function, that product you want to acquire, or the service you want to acquire, it's something you've not bought before. That is a new buy. But if it is something that you have bought before, but you just need a kind of change, an addition, this is what is called the modified rebuy. So in the new buy, what would you do? Which means you're going to be, going to the very first part of the sourcing process by identifying the needs, moving on to define the user requirements, because it's a new buy. You have not done all these before. Okay? You have not done all these before.
Okay, yeah.
So, but if it is a modified rebuy, you have contractor already engaged. You have a supplier, but this time around, you just need maybe certain, you need a change of volume, you need more, or you need less, or maybe you need a certain color from him. So you're not going to be initiating the contract from scratch. It's midway. All you need to do is just to update, remodify the contract. Yeah. That is what you're doing there. Then a straight rebuy. A straight rebuy, yeah, you're not modifying it. You have bought it before. You're just saying, give it to me, just the way you did it last time. That is a straight rebuy. Then the next phase is for us to, we carry out the maker analysis, right? The maker analysis. I'm sorry, I say maker, sorry. I have to read this thing. Something is missing here. That is the market analysis. Can you see that? Let me update it so you can see it clearly. The market analysis. Now, remember, you've made your decision to buy. You're not making it inside. You want to move into the market now to understand how the market functions. Who is leading in the market? How can I get this product cheaper? From who? From where? Is it scarce? Can I have continuity of supply at when I need it? When can I easily find the products cheaper? Where? And from whom? How does the market behave? You're analyzing the market so you can take advantage of it and to extract value from the market. Then, having done that, you have to start identifying potential suppliers. You may come up with different ways of which you would use in identifying suppliers in the market that may be able to meet your needs. Suppliers that would have the skills to deliver the product at when needed. You must identify them. So you have a list for them. Maybe you want to look at how much they have. You want to look at their culture of ethics. You want to look at their closeness to market. Haven't done that. You now would come up with a list, maybe 7 potential suppliers. And then you move on to the next phase and you start screening these suppliers, creating a short list. And then you evaluate these shortlisted suppliers to choose, to select your supplier. And then that becomes the final product and service. Then I start meeting your needs by creating the product for you, servicing you. While they are doing that, you will be evaluating the supplier's performance. Okay. Hello, are you here with me?
Yes.
So these are the stages you would pass through by carrying out sourcing. Here now we say, one may find reasons to want to contract external supplier that will manage and run function that was previously handled in-house. Doing this is what is called outsourcing. Now, if CIPS may ask you, what is outsourcing? You should know that outsourcing is not only contracting a supply to an external organization. No, outsourcing is when a function or a service or a product that was initially created in-house is being handed over to an external supplier. That becomes outsourcing. What you were doing for yourself by yourself. You now looked at your expansion. Maybe I'm growing. I think now I need someone to come in and then service us. To do that, let me stop doing this. Let me pass it on to the next organization. So by so doing, you are outsourcing. If you have never done it before by yourself, you can call it outsourcing. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Beautiful. Okay. Now we are identifying the sourcing process in relation to the procurement. So now I want us to look at the reasons for outsourcing. Why would you want to outsource? Can you give me one reason for you to outsource? Hello.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I need you to give me a
It's not,
reason for that you may.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
a reason for outsourcing. It's very clear here. You said financial. Then
Okay.
yeah, but for me, yes, maybe yeah, financial, reducing cost and obtain value for money.
Okay.
Yeah, then technology,
Yeah.
technological, yeah, working with suppliers that
Yes.
have the needs technology. Then
Mhm.
resources, then improved focus. What do you
Okay.
mean, improved focus?
Pardon?
Okay, then reduce risk before considering outsourcing.
Okay.
Number 3 and 4, I could not understand it.
Okay.
What
Let
do
me
you
go.
mean resource?
Let me go and explain it. Okay, but thank you very much for helping us to explain it the way you have done. Is beautiful. I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, like financial. If you find a certain supplier somewhere that will help you to reduce cost and obtain value for money, what would you do? Could you rather give it to the person, or you want to start making it yourself? No, you should rather pass it on and obtain that additional value. So that is why um, we would encourage you to watch out for these things. Look for an external supplier that can save you money. Then technological, talking about procurement. What if the supplier that you're about to deal with would come with some kind of working materials, the recent innovation that will put you ahead of your competitors in the industry? Would you not want to go into business? Would you not want to go into partnership with them? What if they are coming with the required resources, they have the materials, they have the people to get the job done, and you lack it? Maybe like a growing up organization that may have few staffs, and then a huge contract is being given to you. Would you not look for an organization that have the resources and partner with them so you can capture the benefits therein? Then improve focus. Improve focus is just like if your core business is manufacturing, then in the manufacturing process, you may still be encountering some kind of services, cleaning of your warehouse, arranging things, preserving them, and so on and so forth. You going to do those things may cause distractions into your organization. Your core forces may not be able to focus at the core business that brings money into your account. So what would you do? You outsource it to an external organization so you can have your core team to focus.
Sorry, can you repeat it? This is number 4, improve focus.
Okay,
Sorry,
now
but I could not understand it.
let me explain it now.
Ah,
Let me choose another term. For instance, we had a project management organization. You and I are members of the project management organization. Our core function is to guide project owners on how to manage their projects and save more money. But we still have an organization that would require us to service all our vehicles, right?
yeah.
We still have to clean our toilets. We still have to clean our office, mop the floor, and so on and so forth, don't we?
Yes, sure.
Okay, if you say yes, would you want you and I, the project managers, to leave dealing with the clients to go and be cleaning bathrooms, servicing vehicles, and be doing other things that are demanding in the organization? By doing that, don't you think we will be
No.
distracted? We can't focus at the business of the time, true or false?
Yes.
And the core business that we are supposed to be doing is project management, not servicing vehicles, right?
Yes, you're right.
So what should we rather do? We contract the servicing of the vehicles to an organization that their core business is to service and maintain vehicles. When we do that, you and I can now focus at project management, right?
Yes.
Can you understand it now? Is it clearer?
Yeah. Now it's clear.
Okay, this is how it is. Then reduce risk before considering outsourcing. Now, I need you to see this from two ways.
So, excuse me, that's mean the contractor or
Yes.
the outsourcing, they will take the risk. That's mean?
Yes.
Reduce risk? Okay. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
No, you were talking. I was listening to what you were saying.
Yes, because I can understand from this reduce risk before considering outsourcing is just to reduce because the contractor or the contractor will take this risk by himself, I mean.
Yes. Okay. So that is you're pretty right. When there are certain projects you may embark on, you would look at your organization's strength and maybe your expertise. Haven't seen that the organization is not competent in certain areas, maybe installation of specific bulbs that if you are not careful while installing them, you can blow them up. Then you now go on to look for an organization that can install them carefully without blowing it up and outsource it to the organization. What have you just done? You have reduced the risk inherent there by moving that particular installation to an external organization.
Yes. Okay.
So why we do that? We say the make or buy analysis must be carried out. It must be carried out for us to be rightly informed, to be able to make the right decision. And for us to make the right decision, I've told you, we must check one, if the product or the service is a core function to us. If it's core, which means we must look for a way to get it done ourselves. If it is not core, what should we do? We can outsource it, right? So remember, core is for you to keep and do it yourself. When it's not core, give it out. Then for considering the make or buy analysis, you now look at your organization. What is my organization current position as in capacity? Do I have the men? Do I have the ability? If you do not have the ability, you look for any organization that has the ability. If you have the capacity, then you get it done. Then why you consider the market situation also? You look at the market, would there be economic of scale? Me going to buy from an external organization? Or if I should do it myself, would I save more money? If by doing it yourself, by like, for instance, we the project management organization have been contracted to build a true 3-bedroom bungalow. I haven't looked at it. You now advise Aziz, you now advised me, don't you think we should buy the blocks from block manufacturers so we can save money? You said that. I said, okay, that's beautiful, but how much are they selling it? We now looked at it and the price is certain amount. I said, okay, what if we buy the cement ourselves? Don't we have people in-house that can manufacture these blocks and say save us cost? If we look inward, we have people that can do it. And if we do it ourselves, we will get a good quality. If we do it ourselves, we will save time. If we do it ourselves, we will save money. If we do it ourselves, our team can gain knowledge. Then what do? We do it ourselves. But if all these things are the things that the external organization is supplying, if they do it for us, we will learn, by associating with them, we will know how it works. If they do it for us, we will get a better quality because we don't know how to get it done. If they do it for us, they can deliver faster than we do. What should you rather advise us to do? Advice now. Hello?
Yes. Yes.
What should we do? We give it to them, right?
Sure.
We
Because
outsource.
they are a specialist.
Yes.
And they have the machine, they have the raw material, they have all these things. I mean, so we have to go with this outsourcing.
Boom, that's that. Then another one that I want you to know very well, it's the buying power of the organization. The buying power of the organization. Looking at our strength in the market, looking at how much volume we are ready to pull. Peradventure, if we step into the block manufacturing industry and we want to buy blocks, all the sellers would be, struggling, fighting themselves to bring their prices down to sell to us because we are coming with a huge volume, a huge pool of funds to buy numbers, which means we have a buying power. So we can, achieve economies of scale. We can make them give us discounts because we are buying so much, which means since we have a high buying power, high buying power could be that we have an inclination, we have understanding of the markets. We have knowledge of the right quality of the product. They cannot cheat us.
Right. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So at that level, we would not outsource. And at that level, we would what? We cannot outsource because we can bargain and bring the price down. Because everything is to us. When the buyer has the highest buying power, the seller has the highest power. The seller would not be able to exploit the buyer. That is that. So, but there are costs associated with all forms of sourcing. Do you believe that? And either sourcing that we choose, whether strategic or tactical operation, there are costs associated with them. Let's take a look at the few costs associated with them. We need procurement professionals that will do the bidding for us. Okay? Are we not going to pay them salary? We would pay them, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We also would have to acquire equipment and materials like computer, printers, telecommunications. So these are costs associated, because if we're running sourcing and we're using certain softwares like SAP, we still have to install all these softwares into computers. We would be required to train our staffs. So these are costs associated with them. And for us to carry out sourcing, we still would be required to come up with policies and procedures of obtaining value for money. We should be guided with certain policies. Could be ethical policies. What about time? There's what is called the cost of time. Procurement professionals should spend time and the required resources to ensure that the right supplier is contracted for the strategic items. You're not going to wake up one day from bed and say, boom, supplier B should be the one in charge. No, you can't get that done. You're required to evaluate, analyze, and then choose the best according to your strategic goals, according to what you want to achieve in time. So there are costs associated with sourcing. Now let's take a look at costs of outsourcing. It's same thing, the procurement is involved. Okay, so procurement cost is there. As long as procurement is involved. And we still have to observe the procurement cycle. The procurement cycle takes time for us to move from the very first identifying needs to the contracting, to the supplier evaluation and appraisal, down to closing of the contract. Costs are associated with them.
Yes.
And managing an outsourced contract, do you know that sometimes you would have to invite the contractor to come to your company to sit down and make certain arguments with them and make certain explanation. And sometimes you seek to want to understand from them. All these are time. And when they come like that, they may want to take refreshment in your property. And the space you people are using is money. Go in there for inspection and so on and so forth. It's also money. So you should be conversant with those costs. Yeah. But yet, it has its own benefits also. When you outsource something, you learn from the supplier, right? You know how they get things done. Because you deal with them. You be in business with them. There'll be a transfer of expertise. And also another benefit, you can have focus at your core business. When you outsource it, the key risk can be reduced, or it can be shared, risk can be transferred. And your operating cost will be reduced. Why? Because you're not carrying everybody. When you have all these large pool of workforces in your property land, you spend money for lighting, you spend money for sanitary materials. They will use more water in your organization. They may use more heating system. So your operating cost becomes reduced when you contract, when you outsource. Yeah. So let's talk about the Kraljic model, the Kraljic matrix. You've heard of the Kraljic matrix, have you?
Not really.
You've not. Oh, Kraljic.
Oh, yes. This is from L4M1, I think.
Aha, you saw it there.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, in Kraljic, I want you to just open up your mind. Unless
Sure.
Kraljic is a supplier preferencing model. Okay?
Okay.
You use the Kraljic model to look at the product or the service that you want to buy, to know if it is a critical item or a critical service or a low-risk item or a low-risk service. You look at it by using the Kraljic model. The Kraljic model has two quadrants. The very first one is the horizontal one. Sorry, the vertical rather. The vertical one, which is the profit impact. The second one, which is the horizontal, is the supply risk. When we say supply risk, by trying to outsource it, obtaining it from an external source, what do I stand to lose? If the profit impact will be very high and the supply risk is very high, it becomes a critical component. It becomes a strategical component or a strategical service. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's stay in the other side first. We'll come back to this area. So it becomes that. Then when you look at it one way, it is the profit level is not so much. Even the risk is not too risky. Like you wanting to go and buy tissue paper. That is what is called toilet roll, right? Hello.
Yes.
Do you know what toilet roll is?
No.
You don't know.
No.
Okay, what other non-critical item can I? But do you know what handkerchief is? Handkerchief, what they use in cleaning face when they are sweating. You know it?
Ah, yes, yes.
Beautiful. So handkerchief, it's a non-critical material for anybody. You don't want to get into the market and be feeling that they will cheat you so much for handkerchief. It's a non-critical thing for your organization. Just like those sanitary materials you use in cleaning the bathroom and doing all those things are non-critical. They are not important. Anything that is not important has a low profit impact and a low supply risk. Which means any day you want them, you can see them in the market. They are there. They have low supply risk. Have you heard that handkerchief is scarce in the market? Is there any day you've heard such?
No.
No, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Likewise, I've not heard. So it becomes non-critical because each time you get in there, you can find it. Then we have what is called the leverage. The leverage items are the items with high profit impact, but yet low supply risk. Those are the leverage items. Then another one is called the bottleneck. The bottleneck, they have a high risk. They are not that important, but it seems that it's a single man that is manufacturing such things in the whole city. They are not important. It could be like bolts and nuts, but it's only one man producing it in one corner of the city, which means any day the man is sick, that thing that is not even expensive becomes critical. So such items are tagged the bottleneck items. So now let's see how you treat with them, and sorry, how you deal with them. First of all, your relationship with the supplier for a non-critical item at arm's length. You don't bother. You can buy from afar. No sourcing process. You don't go there and say, show me, give me your quotation, and then you now start inviting them. You now start spending money or due diligence. No need. The market had already taken care of itself. You know that they cannot cheat you. Even if they are cheating you, it's not going to be more than 1%. And how much is that 1%? Because what you're buying is not expensive. You're not even buying much volume. Can you see that? So you keep it at the arm's length level. Then the leverage items are kept at the transactional level. Close, that is still close to the arm's length, which means you can come. It is based on that transaction, you deal with them, you bargain it to the lowest level, not considering coming back the next day. For every single purchase you want to make, you bid it down. For every single purchase, you're not looking at code destiny, you're not looking at going into marriage with the supplier, you just get in there and you bid it down. You look for strategies that can make him give you the component or the size for the least price. That is transactional. Then when it's becoming strategic, it's becoming what you would have to look at code destiny. You have to ensure that there's a collaboration. You come up with a collaborative win-win in a way that you can make the supplier wanting to keep you and wanting to be in business with you. You start looking for things that can encourage the supplier, you by increasing your volume, or by looking at training the supplier to be in business so they can service you for a very long time, and so you'll not go out of business. Then the bottleneck is a close statical relationship. You may want to go and site your office close to the manufacturer's office so you can understand when they have product and when they do not have product. The items are not expensive, but yet they can spoil business from you and spoil business for you rather. So you now start monitoring them in a certain way They're not expensive. They have low profit impact, but they have high risk. If they're not in town, you too would not make your millions of dollars. Yet, but these things are not expensive. They're worth cents, not even up to $1. But if you don't have the screw that is missing in your machine, would you manufacture? No. No.
Yes.
Yeah, that is that.
Yes.
But we still have to drive these things down to how it should be. Okay?
Yes, okay.
How it should be. Let's take a look at the outsource matrix based on bands. We have just analyzed it, but now let's see it. It's saying that when the component, maybe the service that you want to acquire, have a high strategic importance and a high contribution to operational performance, which means you need that thing for your operation to flow, seamlessly. At that level, Banks is saying that you should retain it in-house. Don't outsource it. Don't give it to an external organization. Don't outsource it. When the strategic importance is high, yet but low, outsource it, but outsource it based on strategic alliance. Strategic alliance is when you go into partnership with the supplying organization. Both of you may want to put your resources together and to share profit later based on that. But if the strategic importance is pretty low and the contribution to operational performance is high, but it's not too important. Yeah, outsource. They said now you can outsource. Do you see that? So I'm going to give you certain questions that will help you to remember what you have to do as this portion of your training is concerned. Then we have, when the strategic importance is very low and the contribution to operational performance is low, is it eliminate the function or task. Don't cannibalize it, cut it off, expunge it. Don't do it. Don't do that, carry out that function. Don't even outsource it. Try to remove it. It's going to cause waste of time. It's going to cause waste of material because your forces will be engaged in it. So you cut it out. You eliminate the function or task. Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
So now let's reiterate. Which one are you going to outsource? The one that has low importance, strategic importance, but yet have a very high contribution to operational performance. That is your outsource. High contribution to operational performance. Now, are you with pen there?
Are you what? Sorry?
Are you with pen?
Sorry?
Are you with biro? Pen, like what you can use in writing on your book? Pen.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
You don't have?
No, sure I have. Just 1 minute.
Okay. So, having said that, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You are there, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want to write now?
Yes, just for a minute. I'm trying
okay,
to find
right? Outsource. Outsource. What to outsource is what has high contribution to operational performance and has low strategic importance. You can see it on the screen, is in your material. You don't have to write, you can check it in your material rather. Let's move on so we can. Pardon?
Where is it?
Page 11.
11.
Page 11.
Yes.
You've seen it.
Now you are on page 12, I think.
Hello?
Yes.
So,
yes, now you are in page 12, I think.
okay, yeah, I am. So that is that. We've looked at that. Let's take a look at other things. So now we are saying that the outsource matrix is called the outsource matrix, what you have just checked. The outsource matrix measures the strategic importance of functions, activities, and product as against its contribution towards the operational performance. We have explained it, but we are just looking at it again. So yeah. I said it has 4 quadrants, right? Which one
yes.
is what? The retaining house, the outsource, and then strategic alliance, and then the eliminate function to task.
Yes. Yeah.
So you now know that when the strategic importance is very high and the contribution to operational performance is very high, when you have high, you retain. Don't give it to the external organization, you retain.
Yeah, retain.
And you know when to outsource. When the strategic importance is very low and the contribution to operational performance is high, you outsource. Huh?
Yeah.
So let's see let's see the supplier pre-qualification or the criteria for supplier appraiser. So always a list for the potential supplier must be compiled. And there are various ways you can get the list. For instance, you're looking for suppliers, you want to put a list. What do? You may want to consider your previous knowledge. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? What is this? What is this? Who is there? Take it. Brother or sister? Bring it, let's talk. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear. Yeah.
Okay. That's
your
beautiful.
Voice disappeared.
Yes, yeah. It disappeared. And give me. All right, let's continue. All right, let's just move on. Let's continue.
Yeah,
You're
if
there.
you have, sorry, if you have something, it's okay.
No. Let's continue. I don't want us to waste all our time. Okay, now talking about the supplier pre-qualification. And now you want to come up with a list of potential suppliers. I want to show you areas that you can look at and then gather them together. The first thing is for you to consider your previous knowledge about supplies, about people who are selling that particular product. It could be a place in the town that you had seen it before. It could be a town somewhere in the state that you had seen it before. It could be a friend that you know. So always start from where you are. Second, it could be recommendation. You may want to consult somebody around you to tell you where you can find that component or who can carry that service out for you. Number 3 could be you carry out internal research. You research your organization, and then you now would want to spot who can get it done for you or who can give you a direction. Then the market publication. There are publications already, newsletters and certain publications in the industries that you may want to buy and study to know who is there to supply what. Then if you are attending, you may want to attend trade shows so you can meet people. For instance, you may want to attend the project management organizational functions. And then you get there and now start looking for other project management companies that you may contract. Okay. So maybe networks or social protections and so forth can help you. get that done. All right. Hello, are you with me?
Yes. Yeah,
And
yeah. But what do you mean fair trade?
what do I mean by fair trade?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, fair trades are like guiding principles that would encourage people to do business the right way. It could be that there are laws that discourage producers or manufacturers manufacturing low quality product, or discouraging people from discriminating certain people in the organization or maybe in the industry. Is that okay? Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Then we have you may want to use the pre-qualification questionnaires. Maybe you send in questionnaires into the market and you now start interacting with potential suppliers and listening to what they are saying so you can gather your list. So for every pre-qualification, we are saying you should raise a pre-qualification questionnaire. Yes, I want to edit this and take it off. So that's that. So in pre-qualification questionnaire, that's is called the PQQ. The PQQ addresses certain things. It addresses the supplier's financial stability. It's also look at the supplier, if the supplier has the required accreditation. Are they that experienced, looking at what we are looking for? So there are certain questions you would ask in the PQQ, the pre-qualification questionnaire, that will help you to know if they have 5 years experience. For instance, do you have 5 years experience? Do you have 10 years experience? Or how many years experience do you have? If it's in the questionnaire, when you receive it, you would know the supplier that is qualified, right?
Right, yeah.
Another one could be, does it have the capacity, by like asking how many civil engineers do you have in your organization, and so on and so forth. But now for the pre-qualification questionnaire, there is something that helps us to get it done, which is called the Carter's 10 C's. Carter's 10 C's. Look at what I'm highlighting. Carter's 10 C's. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
So if you ask certain questions 10 times, and if it's yes, 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 you know that the supplier is qualified. Now you now pre-qualify the supplier by putting the supplier in your potential supplier list. What is the first question? What is their competency? What is their capacity? Capacity, you're looking at their workforce. Then their consistency. Can they supply today, tomorrow, next tomorrow? Or how many times would they have to disappoint? Control. Are they in control of their supply chain? Is it that they are dependent on another organization somewhere? Then the cost. How much would it cost us to deal with them, to contract them? What is their commitment? Then cash. How much do they have? Clean. Are they doing their business in an environmental friendly way? Culture. What is their culture? Does their culture against our culture of doing business? Communication. Are they communicating in the right language that we can understand? Is there communication barrier? Can you see how you are evaluating them now? If you have done all these things, you will find out that you are pretty close to the supplier that can carry out this job for you without much associated risk. Yes. So
Yeah.
that is that. Let's see. Let's take some terms here. Here now we say sourcing can take many different approaches which are related to the following factors.
Sorry, may I ask just we will take until to when the first
Speak to your phone so I can, your volume is low. Speak to your phone.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear
better
me now?
now. Better.
Yes, sorry. But my question for you, we will continue until which slide?
We will continue till hello, Sister Stephanie. Oh, thank you, ma. So you're buying 2 wines. Just about that. I did not call him.
Hello?
Hello, I'm coming. Just hold on a little.
Yeah.
No problems. He had called me. I'm in a class. Your call too is cutting my network. I'll call him. Okay. I'll apologize. All right. Okay. Hello.
Hello, yes.
Okay,
It's
sorry. I discovered that sometimes when the call comes, it cuts us off.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about.
It's okay. No,
Okay,
it's
the
okay.
sharing is off. Let me reshare.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Let
And
me
now
reshare.
we are in slide number 18, I think.
Yes, we are stopping at slide number 20. I think so. Is that okay with you? I want to stop, self. Let's take this. Let's take this and stop so you can then go do other things. Huh?
Yeah, because as you know, I want to go and start read what did you just give it to me.
Yes, okay.
I don't want to miss
All right,
anything.
okay. Now we will call it a day here now, okay? Thank you. Let's call it a day. Tomorrow we'll start with slide number 18.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but do you think I mean, tomorrow maybe we can take more, but do you think I can maybe I can finish all these slides before my exam date?
Look at how far we have gone. Today we've only learned for 1 hour rather. Tomorrow we'll take 1 hour. Yeah?
Okay.
We'll take 1 hour, and if we'll take 1 hour, you meet up. Tomorrow we'll take 1 hour. Huh? We'll take minimum of 1 hour. Tomorrow we'll get to slide 40. Huh? You know, today we are just using today to explain a lot of things and moving on. Tomorrow is not going to be like that. It's going to be better. All right?
Okay.
It's
And
going to be.
I don't want you to just, as you know, I don't want you to just be hurry up. It's okay. Take your time. Just take your time, and so
Okay.
that I can understand what you will say. So it's
All right.
okay. 1 hour and a half. It's okay.
So tomorrow, when are we meeting tomorrow?
As you like, same time. It's okay for you.
During the day, what are you going to be doing in the morning? Would you be at work?
Because do you know what? Because my tomorrow, just tomorrow, I have two children, so they will stay with me during the morning. So I
Okay,
don't think so. I can understand what you will say during
okay,
they
it's
staying
okay.
with me.
I
But
I
for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all these days, I can start morning.
okay. I will. This is what I'll do right now.
Okay.
I'm going to send you my questions. Maybe you might have seen them on the internet. I'll send you my questions so
Okay.
you can log on and take minimum of 40 questions before you meet me tomorrow. Hmm? I'll send
Okay.
you during the day as you're playing with the kids or you're working, you just be looking at one question and be looking at the answer and then, okay? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay. But
Minimum of
sorry, my question.
between 30 to 40 questions. Can you do that?
30 to 40. Okay. I think I can. I'll try, sure.
Okay.
Okay. But sorry, my question to you, should I take a picture for this slice until 18, or you already recorded so I can go back
I
and
recorded it, but I recorded it. I want to,
okay.
I recorded it, so I think it's something that we can use. So I would
Oh,
look for where it will be saved. Huh?
okay. Okay. And you will send it to me?
Yeah, so once I get it, I'll share it with you. All right?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so
Okay.
you can be playing it in the house as you are taking care of the kids. Let the voice be sounding so you can be hearing it. Is that okay? When you're at
Yeah, it's
work,
okay.
you do certain things, you can listen to it. Okay,
Thank
thank you very much.
you so much for your time. And for the payment, I'll try to pay now for you.
Okay,
I will
can
appreciate
you use PayPal?
Eva, I have to ask my husband, but I think I have a MasterCard.
Okay, if you have MasterCard, if you cannot use PayPal and you want to use MasterCard, I would send you the link.
So could you please send the link now to me because I have MasterCard.
Okay, it's okay. I'll send you the link. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Sorry
Let's,
for this.
no problem.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for your time and have a good night.
all right, you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. So that, come on, tell me what you're telling me. Yes. Yes. Now I need to fish out your screen share is paused. My recording is up, is stop. Okay, let me say stop share. Now stop recording.